Hey everybody, Dr. Stephen here, of course. Boy, I've really enjoyed connecting with you guys. You are all doing such an awesome job. This past week when we had that massive Lominger document about the competency skills, I actually forwarded a number of the discussion threads to Dr. Frank Marco. Many of you know him. You probably had him as a professor, and he's also our Dean of Distance Education at TKU. And he's the one who was kind of the driving force behind this course, and he and I talked and worked together on it a lot. And I was so impressed with some of your posts, I sent them to Frank just as an example, and he was just so impressed. He made a comment, "I am surprised at the maturity of these graduate students." And so I just want to tell you guys that my boss and the top guy in distance education at TKU thinks you're all doing an awesome job, and you are. So this week we're shifting back to kind of inspirational. I've shown a number of videos. Didn't you love Henry Nowens? What a tender-hearted man he was. And thank you. Several of you made some just very kind comments about the post that I had made about my family's crisis a number of years ago. So this week, I'm showing a video that I actually taped a couple years ago. I taped it actually at the same time as that one with Pastor Michael Walker at Church in the City, Beth Abraham, because I was up in Denver, which is about an hour and a half from me, and I had made arrangements after that to go over to a church pastored by a gentleman who was my boss years ago when we first moved from Los Angeles to Denver. His name is Pastor Tom Stipe. Tom, he's aging now. He's a number of years older than me. And yet he was one of the real pioneers and founders of the Jesus movement in Southern California, particularly in the early 70s. In Christian music, Tom basically founded Maranatha Music and was instrumental in many of the early Christian worship and praise rock bands, if you will. And so he was the evangelist, actually, the staff evangelist at the original Calvary Chapel in Southern California back in the early 70s. And Tom literally led hundreds of thousands of people to faith, face to face, over about a decade. I had the privilege and honor to serve Tom and to be his associate pastor for a number of years in Denver. And we reconnected after a number of years. You know how things are. You just kind of, you don't mean to be estranged or anything, but sometimes people in ministry, you go different ways and you just don't, next thing you know, it's 5, 6, 7 years since you've even talked to somebody. So Tom and I reconnected. It was a wonderful time. We actually spent quite a lot of time, and I had to edit it down quite a bit. Now, I admit that a lot of this is not going to be, current events and relevant for maybe your ministry today, right now. But I really do believe there is something very powerful in us connecting to some of the fathers of our faith and some of those that God has brought before us, who paved the way, on whose shoulders, in a sense, we stand. And so I'd like you to watch it and just enjoy it and then respond to the question, because I believe God's going to use it as well. So as far as the course goes, just continue doing your weekly journal. Continue doing your ministry involvement, whatever that is. Continue meeting as you are able with other people, another mentor, and bouncing some of these things off of them, because we're having a great time. You're all going to do awesome in this class, but I'm also hoping that when you get done with this course, it doesn't just check off a box. I'm hoping that you'll say this was a valuable time in your time here at TKU. So I'll see you guys in the discussion threads. I look forward to your thoughts on the video. God bless you.